Isn't there more subsidies going to red states and red areas? By definition, blue places just tend to be more economically prosperous than large cities.
The trick that a lot of people will use is they'll cite like the state of Kentucky and say, look at all the federal dollars going in there. But the state of Kentucky has Fort Knox, and those federal dollars included for those military bases count in the federal government spending in terms of the accounting. It's where we keep all our gold.
I'm sorry, do you think the majority of the disproportionate spending on red states is for military bases?
A lot of it is related to military bases.
Do you notice that you never answer a question? Do you think that if we equalize from military spending, do you think that's going to significantly change the amount of federal investment that if we adjusted that on a per capita, that's going to significantly change the amount of federal investment between blue states and red states?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to...
It's a novel economic theory that I've never heard positive from anybody in my entire life.
I think you'll probably end up with more red states on the top or the bottom of the list, depending on how you're counting it, but it won't be so glaring by comparison.
The federal funds that were spent in Kentucky, 3 is the Department of Agriculture at $2 billion, 2 is the Department of Veteran Affairs at $2.5 billion, and then 1 is the Department of Defense at $8.3 billion, so...
I'm out of here.
I'm just kidding, actually. Department of Defense was number 3 at $8.3 billion. 2 was the Social Security Administration at $19 billion. And 1 was the Department of Health and Human Services at $116 billion. So the idea that military bases are what's playing into Kentucky's absorption of federal funds is bullshit. And Kentucky was your go-to example, so I'm guessing this is probably the most extreme one you could find. So that's bullshit.
This is nonsense.